Another 40% of your income would be just send it to the U.S. Treasury. Washington, D.C.,
Well,
no zip code required.
You know
Go
what
ahead.
I do, Tucker? You know what I do instead of that? Because we don't have a fair system of taxation, I write checks to nonprofits that are providing services that the government should be providing.
Okay, but
so I write checks to Planned Parenthood. I write checks to nonprofits that provide a safety net for Americans.
You may be making an argument
so it has the same effect.
I think you may be, but it doesn't actually. So why not pass a law requiring people to send money to charities that are more effective than the government is? I mean, so you're basically conceding.
That would be great too, as long as the 1%
is not the most efficient way to lift up the poor. Then why won't you send it to the government then?
Tucker, I would say this train wreck of a Trump government is certainly not the best way to serve the poor, since they have no interest in serving the poor. But in general, I think government does a fine job providing the services
I'm just asking you to practice what you preach. Let me just ask you one other question here.
I do practice what I preach.
Well, you don't. You're telling other people to send their money to the government, and you're not. So, like,
I'm telling the top 1%. No, Tucker, don't put words in my mouth. I am telling the top 1%. I am saying the government needs to tax them fairly. If we're going to talk about taxation, I actually think I'm taxed pretty fairly. I choose to spend way more than the majority of my income on other people. I choose to do that, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about.
Of course, we're not talking about you. You don't want to do it.
We're talking about the top 1%.
It sounds awful.
Tucker, no, you don't get to do this. You don't get to lie. You don't get Tucker. You don't get to put words in my mouth. We're talking about the top 1%.
Professor.
You're noting the obvious. I'm not in the top 1%. It's not about me. This is not an argument about me.
But not you. Oh, it's not
yes,
about you.
Yes,
it's never about.
That's the argument.
The people proposing it. Let me ask you one quick question, though. I understand.
It's the marginal tax rate on the top wealthiest Americans.
There's a real
concern,
I think, about accumulation of wealth at the top. It's probably not good for society. I bet we agree on that.
It's not.
But it's not about income. It's not about your income taxes. It's about capital gains taxes, taxes on investment, on capital that is working. That's how people get rich. Nobody's making $1 billion from a salary. Are you suggesting raising the capital gains tax rate to 70% too?
I am suggesting raising the capital gains tax on the wealthiest 1%. I am suggesting raising the income tax.
To what?
You know, economists say somewhere around 50% would be good. Income tax, you can go as high as 83%, and it won't suppress wealth pursuit.
But why would you want to tax labor more than capital? Why are you giving a pass to rich investors? I don't understand. Just why are you taxing working people?
The wealthiest 1%. I would like to tax them at higher rates across the board on their salary, on their investments, and also on what they're passing to the future generations. I want to see the death tax go up. I want to see all of it go up, because right now the top 1% do not pay their fair share.
We got to go. But call me when you start sending all your money to the government, and then I'll follow suit. It's hilarious.
I'll call you when I'm on the top 1%. How's that, Tucker?
Perfect. We'll have lunch. Thanks, Professor.